Welcome back, everyone, to the podcast number 35. Now, today, I'm back to my main industry, which is the healthcare, which I'm working, and I have been doing marketing for healthcare since 5 years now. But there's always a thing where I have people have always asked me, कि यार, if you are into healthcare, how do you react to the institutes? How do you react to the news which are against the hospital industry? So I always says to them, कि यार, this is a innovation thing, and it's a mixture of AI and the human nature. अगर आप इसको सिर्फ एक ही नेचर से देखोगे, अगर एक ही आंख से देखोगे, तो यार वो काम नहीं करेगा. आई ऑलवेज टेक इट कि ह्यूमन नेचर में गलतियां होती हैं जिसकी वजह से हॉस्पिटल इंडस्ट्री जो है हमारी हमेशा न्यूज़ में रहती है. बट इट्स नॉट ऑलवेज अ वन थिंग. यू हैव टू लुक इनटू अनदर पार्ट कि अगर रिसर्च नहीं होगी, अगर हॉस्पिटल इंडस्ट्री नहीं होगी, और अगर डॉक्टर्स को एक्सपेरिमेंट नहीं करेंगे नई नई चीज़ों के साथ, और कि तो आपके लिए जो नए इनोवेशंस होते हैं, how it can be done, how the people can be saved from the life. You don't have to see here if they are making an experiment, there's a loss. Yes, we all don't support it, but it's a nature. And if we don't go for the AI things, but अच्छा इसमें तो मैं भूल ही गया ये बताना. क्वेश्चन क्या था? क्वेश्चन तो ये था कि यार why do people react on the, or why do hospitals need the AI? यार because AI is a thing where the innovations can be better. अगर हम इसको नहीं करेंगे, हम आज जो एक लाइफ सेव कर रहे हैं वो हम 2 या 3 या 4 नहीं कर पाएंगे. और हमारी जो इंडिया की पॉपुलेशन है विच हैव ऑलरेडी क्रॉस द वर्ल्ड. चाइना एक तरफ, और हम चाइना और 2 कंट्री में तो हम एक तरफ बनते हैं, और कई कंट्रीज की, कई 100 कंट्रीज के अंदर अगेंस्ट हम बनते हैं. तो यार हमें उसके लिए इनोवेशन करनी पड़ेगी. सो आज इस इनोवेशन के लिए ना, जस्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड देयर पर्सपेक्टिव, सो आई हैव डॉक्टर देवानंद विद मी, एंड ही हैज बीन वर्किंग विद हॉस्पिटल इंडस्ट्री फ्रॉम लार्जर देन दी, आई गेस फॉर द होल लाइफ, सर, इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग. ओके, सो लेट्स वेलकम डॉक्टर देवानंद, sorry, my bad. Let's welcome Dr. Devanand to the talks, and we'll understand how the healthcare industry works, how the leadership explore the realities, and also the innovation, how the innovation is doing, and interestingly, how Devanand sir is making an innovation now on his own. So let's start with him on the growth aspect over. Welcome Devanand sir, how are you?
Thank you. I'm good, Kavarji. Thank you for inviting me for this podcast.
So
So,
at last it's happening now. We have
yeah,
been doing this from a long time, planning for it.
thank
So
you.
आपने मेरा सुन ही लिया introduction, but it was a bit big. But I just want to give a section to the people so that they can understand the, because a lot of people do ask me, why do healthcare need an AI?
Hmm.
So I always try to say कि यार अगर AI के अलावा अगर हम इसको देखें, अगर उसको हम, we have to save the life, then we need the AI in the, but obviously it need to be taken care with the pinch of salt as well. And also हमें इसको थोड़ा ध्यान से यूज़ करना पड़ेगा कि so that लाइफ भी हमारी बचे और कॉस्ट भी बचे, एंड उसको आगे हम इसको बेटर कर पाए. What's your take on this?
No, exactly. I mean, what you said is absolutely right. When we look at healthcare, right? Healthcare is always a very complex, industry. Why? Because
True.
we are in the business of saving lives, and there is a thin line between ethics, care, cost, and the conscious. Right? Obviously, the ethics comes in the conscious part. So. Balancing all these factors is the most complex thing that healthcare is going through now. A lot of people are losing faith in the medicine, in the sense, people are suspicious. Olden times they were gods. The doctors were considered as gods, right? They, whatever they say, people don't have a second thought about it. Now, a lot of suspicions in the industries, a lot of things have come into the industry which makes people naturally suspicious. There's nothing to be wrong about it. But now with the new, entry of the technology, more technology like the AI and all, people are more doubtful about, whether the treatment given to me is right, and it has its pros and cons. Everything has its pros and cons, right? So,
True.
for example, let us look at a situation where when the computers were introduced. When the computers were introduced, there was a halla the saying that a lot of jobs will be lost. Computers will take up jobs
True.
and a lot of unemployment will come in. But what we have seen, what it has done for India, as a country.
It's boomed.
We have got so much of employment in the digital space. Not only in India, a lot of our people are also working in other countries. So it has opened up a completely new domain which was completely absent. So similar is the case for AI now. Now everyone is using this AI word. AI is used most abused word, I would say. Now
That's true. Everybody.
everyone says
Correct.
AI. AI.
I get that's the right way to say it. Because views like anything. Because
Yeah.
if we talk about my marketing, we are using Google Analytics or Google Ads since 2014. It was based on AI. It's not a
Exactly.
new thing now.
Correct.
Social media is AI.
Exactly. So what I have seen in healthcare, the important aspects of AI, especially in clinical segment, when you look at, let's say, in radiology, radiology, when you look at it, a doctor, radiologist qualified, a competent doctor, right? But with the kind of number that the India handles, right, in the clinic or the OP or the department is huge. Can't compare with any other country, right? We are actually, in fact, one of the best healthcare systems in the whole world, because the numbers that we see, nobody sees this kind of numbers, and then the kind of quality that we provide is also very good. But imagine a doctor gets a screening done before he looks at the CT scan or an MRI or an X-ray through an AI, which is fed with the data across the globe. So what happens? There will be a lot more precision in the imaging analysis. So after the analysis, if the AI definitely will be able to. It's a machine. Basically, it learns from its experience, right, or the whatever it
True.
is
It
fed.
will take some time. Yeah.
Yeah, it will take time, but over a period of time, and it has already a lot of data across the globe. It's already inbuilt. So what
True.
happens? The analysis output that it produces will be massive. So the doctor gets a very accurate diagnosis.
Hmm.
See sometimes diagnosis getting wrong or something getting missed. Those chances of those things will completely become negligible. So it in turn
True.
helps the patient to get a proper diagnosis fast and not missing anything, right?
Hmm.
So that's one application of AI in healthcare. But now you look at it, the applications are getting added day by day. Now,
Hmm.
recently I was going through a platform where uh, it has almost matched the human voice. So
Yep.
imagine now,
11 labs.
so all the CRM jobs, which is the customer relation jobs, or the telephone consoles that we hospitals have, right?
Yep.
The bookings and query handling, all those things can be done by the agentic AI now. So you don't
True.
need. You may lose some jobs, but at the same time your productivity increases because 24/7 these AI agents will work. So a lot of applications are there. It's all about how you embrace AI. It can't be.
Hmm.
It can be an enemy now more. It has to be.
You
It
need
need
to be
not,
a friend.
it need not be a dost also, but you have to live with this dost even if you don't like or not.
And
Like
eventually, if you become the host of the AI, right? I guess you will get more productive things. You will
exactly.
able to do a lot of things
Yeah.
where there was a limitation of you. Maybe जैसे आपने भी बोला कि there was a human limitation from the doctor as well. So that can help everyone. That can help the
Exactly.
doctor as well. कि वो human neglection जो हमारी हो रही थी वो कम हो जाएगी अब.
Correct. So errors can be brought to a greater extent. Not only I'm not specifically talking about radiology. A lot of areas where
Yeah,
healthcare commits errors can be brought down drastically because a lot of things are repetitive. So
true.
those can be taken up by the AI.
That was great. Okay. So now, when it's come to the now, when the leadership role is there, right? That you have been into the corporate world. Now you're dealing with the corporate world, so you know the difference between them, right? So now, I want to know about more on the leadership role first from you. So leadership not about the authority or the titles, right? It's more about the clarity of the purpose, decision making. क्योंकि हमारे हॉस्पिटल्स में अगर हम देखें अंडर प्रेशर बहुत सब कुछ होता है काफ़ी सारा आता है उस टाइम पे डिसीजन मेकिंग कैसे लेते हैं सो अगर let's suppose somebody is coming up as a new manager and or may have to grow in the corporate world for the hospital corporate world, what should be the financial KPIs, how the decision making should be, and the what kind of clarity of purpose they should have, while the patient of experience भी उनको चाहिए emphasize भी करना. So how the what is the reality of it?
Yeah, very, very important and difficult question actually. Because, see, I always consider that, leadership is something which is not. It is not taken, right? It comes out naturally after some time. People will follow somebody. Obviously,
True.
you do certain things, right? And because they are problem solvers, they are
Mm-hmm.
people who guide others, help others.
Mm-hmm.
Like you also were sharing your experience some time back of helping people grow, right?
True.
So those qualities people have, they automatically others will consider them as leaders. You don't need to be their boss. You understand? There's a
Hmm.
difference. You don't need to be their boss. There are people, friends who reach out to you for guidance. Then you are a leader. It need not be in a
Correct.
corporate world. That is one. And there need not be an authority to become a leader, right?
True.
It's not, see, Mahatma Gandhi, for example, he was a true leader. He did not have an authority, right? He didn't have any control over Indians, but he was a true leader. He is considered as the Mahatma. So that's how it is. Leader need not be having that authority. Leader only has to have the conviction on what he's doing.
True.
That's one. Second thing, in terms of healthcare, if somebody has to come into healthcare, there are two things. Obviously, why did you choose healthcare? That's the first question, right?
Hmm.
If you are looking at some kind of job to make some salary with no passion for healthcare, don't come to healthcare. That's the first thing, right? If you're coming to healthcare, obviously it's a business. Every business has to sustain. So obviously there are some financial KPIs. You have to understand how the business works. But it cannot be only business. That's what I'm
True.
trying to say. Okay, it cannot be only business. Healthcare has that human element. We are
Hmm.
purpose of a doctor being a doctor is to treat a patient, right?
True.
So, and an administrator coming to healthcare is to serve as many patients as possible. So if you don't have that conviction, you don't have that passion, you don't have that kind of an empathy, do not
Don't
attempt
come.
healthcare. That requires a lot of patience and a lot of involvement actually. So that is the first thing. Second, having come to the healthcare as administrators or managers, you should know certain KPIs. Certain KPIs in the sense there are certain specific matrices that managers, administrators follow in hospitals. So obviously, olden times you only consider certain matrices, financial matrices like the profit, loss, the cost. All those things were only the considered matrices. Now things have changed. The patients are more educated, they're more aware.
True.
So all hospitals have upgraded themselves in terms of the matrices that they monitor now. It's not only in terms of financial, it is also in terms of operational, in terms of quality. So a lot of new matrices is coming. But in terms of financial metrics, obviously, like my chairman in Astor used to always say that organization is like a car or an automobile, right? It is there, and it has to run, right? To run or operate a car, you need fuel. So
True.
obviously, the fuel is money here, so obviously, as a when you have to run something, you have to have the fuel coming in. So
Yeah.
yeah, so there is always that thin line between or balancing between. Some people say that hospitals are looting, ज़्यादा profitability में focus कर रहे हैं अभी. This all these issues come in. But yes, like any business, this has to sustain. It has to reinvest in technology. New equipments have to come in.
Research need to be done.
Research need to be done. A lot of new doctors have to be brought in. See, obviously, a good doctor with a good skill demands certain salary. So
True.
hospitals will have to pay, right? So all those involve money. So where the money is going to come? Money is going to come from the patient, unfortunately. But
It's
that's
a
how.
true.
So managers now whoever are coming to healthcare have to have the conviction, have to understand the basic financial matrices like the RPOB, average revenue per operating bed, or that matter an EBITDA,
Tag.
or
Tag. Yeah.
loss, basic things, margin analysis. So there are multiple matrices which are used now, but basic some ideas they should have. But having said that, again, I'm telling uh, the business of healthcare is in it lies in basically how you deal with the patient. See, why I'm saying it is basically because how you made them feel makes a lot of difference now. Because a patient, getting a patient to a hospital, you are a marketer, you know it well. You know, it's so difficult to get a patient to a hospital, right?
To
They
convince them.
to convince them to take a decision to come to your hospital as a patient.
True.
Having come to your hospital, if you don't treat them well, or give them the experience that they were expecting, they are never going to come back, and they are never going to come back, and instead they will actually prevent some people from coming to your hospital also. So that's something I think every manager, every administrator has to make sure that the patient who has taken a decision to come to your hospital has to be taken care well. It's a very very basic task. And obviously, from manager to leader, there has been a lot of philosophical answers. But I would only say one thing, manager and leader. I always consider this, a manager need not try to become a leader. He's a leader, he'll become a manager. It's other way.
Yeah, आपने इसको उल्टा कर दिया because but I believe in this is the whatever the manager or leader they have to be a emphasize balancing thing between them. They know how to balance between the clinical and the business performance.
Exactly, exactly. No, that's very essential, right? If you don't
Yeah,
focus on the clinical side, patient care will get compromised and patient satisfaction will go down. It will ultimately affect your business.
true.
Both ways. You have to balance it. It's a very very important thing.
Now, if I not only talk about the industry, healthcare industry, now this would be the more traits bigger than that. So, जिसका आपने आंसर थोड़ा सा पहले स्टार्ट कर दिया था ऑलरेडी. So my question would be the leadership versus the managers.
Okay.
What is actually the real difference between them?
Yeah, so see, I was also a manager before, so I really understand the difference. See, a lot of people see
That's why
that
I'm
when you,
asking you because
yeah,
now
when
you
you
more
become a
into the
CEO or
leadership role.
something, they feel that, oh, you have been a CEO, born CEO. No, we all have come through the executive level, then become a manager, assistant manager, manager, and we all have grown the ranks like that, right? And but there are people who come at a very senior position in the beginning itself. Those who pass out from the premier institutes and
Oh,
all, they come at
yeah.
a senior level. But yeah, for myself, if I take it, I have come from the ground, ground up. I've done the basic level of working, and then I've taken the ranks above. So the biggest difference I feel that when I was a manager, I was more of execution driven, right? I was basically following a process or an SOP or firefighting, I would say. Daily basis क्या करना है वो करके बैठना है. Whatever you are supposed to do, you have to do that. But a leader obviously looks beyond this process or an execution level. It will be as a leader when you look at it, it will be more of a what do you say, more of vision driven.
Hmm.
अभी 2 साल बाद कहाँ पहुँचना है. ओके, मैं ये करूँ तो मेरे लोगों को क्या होगा. See, it will be more of those decisions, right? If I take maybe an unpleasant decision, but very good for patients, what will be the impact of that? So it will be more of those strategic decisions and driving that. See, and leader can think about multiple things, but
True.
how effectively he is able to convince his team on driving that, and the driving actually happens through the managers, right? So basically, you want to become a leader, you are a manager. Obviously, anybody becoming a manager itself shows that they have leedership capability or they are
Hmm.
leadership material, right? That's why become a manager. From
Yes.
manager
Yep.
to the next level leaders, many people fail in in getting to the bigger roles is basically when they focus more on the micromanaging, they focus more on executions, they completely forget the long term aspect, right?
They
So
go for the day-to-day things only.
हाँ,
That's it.
या सो उसमें से थोड़ा हट के आप सोचने लगेंगे. Obviously you will start maturing to a better leader, and you have to read, you have to upskill every day, right? It's like
True.
so MBA MHA करके आएंगे फील्ड में तो भी you have to be a learner every day. Too many things are happening across the globe, right? You have to keep updating, upskill yourself in adding yourself to new courses, new
Hmm.
so what happens is you are moving ahead with the time. So that's very essential. So and maybe sometimes you are weak in finance, let's say. or you are weak in, let's say,
numbers. Maybe
numbers
you are.
number एक है. दूसरा होगा, I mean, let's say somebody who has not come from a science background. He's
Yeah.
an MBA in hospital management who has come into administration. He doesn't have a clinical expertise. So, but you are in
True.
healthcare, you should understand that clinical side. So you have to deep dive on that. And whenever you get an opportunity, try to learn as much as possible. Go to the roots and learn so that you have better conviction, better knowledge and skills.
So I guess I want to add one thing. If a manager is not able to understand the technical part as well, he can understand. He can read about the technical how to simplify it, because today in nowadays ChatGPT is there. He is not is going to make it very simple for a person to understand how the new technology is coming, how simple it is to understand. I guess that can also help them to make them more efficient and make them a leadership, because I always think for a leadership you have the ownership of the mentality. कि आपकी
Exactly.
अगर मेंटालिटी होगी तो आप उसको कर पाओगे, अगर आपकी मेंटालिटी नहीं होगी तो नहीं. एंड ऑब्वियसली यू हैव टू थिंक आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स एज वेल.
Correct.
एटलीस्ट यू हैव अ करेज टू मेक अ अनपॉपुलर डिसीजन.
Yeah, exactly.
अगर वो.
Imagine situation, Kawarjit. So, see, when we did our schooling,
Yep.
the only source of information was the book
Books.
and the
True.
teacher, right?
Mm.
Now, you cannot say that I don't have this information.
True.
Every information is at your fingertips now, right? So, it is only your initiative, your enthusiasm matters the most. If you want to learn
True.
something, there is no dearth of material now and opportunities.
True. You don't have to read a whole books of it.
Exactly, exactly.
You just have a click up, even you just click a photo and you will get every information.
Correct.
That's simple. And it's very good. Today's time people are actually using ChatGPT, but I'm just more concerned people are, because ChatGPT will revert you as per the prompt.
Exactly.
They don't have the background of it. That makes the problem for them.
And other than that, one more serious concern there is any machine, or for that matter, humans also.
Hmm.
See, I can give you information that I know,
True.
right? I can give you only information that I am aware of, right? But when I talk to you, Kojit, you have a different experience. If
True.
I let you speak more, I will gain a lot of experience which I don't know. You have a different set of experience. So, same is the case with ChatGPT. ChatGPT is giving you output based on what information it is already having. Now, a creativity, a human intuition, empathy, sympathy, these are all things which never comes through a ChatGPT. So, we have to be a little careful and selective. Okay, maybe you're drafting a letter or making it more professional. You want to get some data which is already published, in consolidating the data, making concise statements. You can use that. Otherwise, using ChatGPT for everything is
That's
completely,
a
it's not a good trend, good healthy practice.
That's true. I guess people need to be sure, and I guess they have to use their own mind on this. Ki
Exactly.
how, and listen to the person who have already have years of experience.
Correct.
Because I have an example over here. So I don't take a name of that woman, but she is a very good position over here in one of our hospitals. So अभी क्या हुआ, हमारे यहाँ पे आपको पता ही ऑपरेशंस में या फिर ऑपरेशंस में हमें चादरों को बहुत क्वालिटी की चादर चाहिए होती है, राइट. वाइट चादर बार बार धुलेगी. एंड सो व्हाट दैट मेक अ डिसीजन दैट दे टेक इन अ वेरी गुड क्वालिटी, रादर देन पहले क्या होता था वो बहुत चीप क्वालिटी का या फिर बहुत चीप कॉस्ट का लेते थे, विच वी नीड टू रिमूव इट एवरी टाइम, और आफ्टर 10 days मतलब एक महीने बाद चेंज हो रही थी. और तब तक जो नई हमारी जो मैम आई हैं उन्होंने उसको कहा कि नहीं, इसको महंगा कर दो, लेट्स टेक अ बेटर क्वालिटी. एंड दैट हैज रियली चेंज इनटू द कॉस्ट एंड एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ द कस्टमर्स यूनिट्स में. उससे क्या हुआ, एक तो जितने भी हमारे पेशेंट्स आते थे दे वर वेरी हैप्पी विद द क्लीननेस, हाइजीन, कोई दाग नहीं, कोई कुछ नहीं. सो व्हाट दिस शी चेंज, बेडशीट्स एंड आल्सो द प्रोसेस हाउ टू क्लीन. I guess that's also one very thing. It's a kind of a controversial, but among the people कि यार ऐसे चीज नहीं करनी चाहिए hygiene. But I guess hygiene is also point where healthcare based up.
So that's what a very important story that you have said. So see, in this situation, if you look at it, she has taken a very uncomfortable decision
Yeah.
because increasing the cost of the material is always a problem, right? You are hitting the cost, but you see the benefit, how it does turn to a patient satisfaction benefit, right? And that can
True.
be measured. That can be measured. So it is difficult. So she's a true leader who has taken a very unpleasant decision, but for the sake of patients. So that also denote a true leader.
टू लीडर थिंग दैट्स व्हाई आई मेक दिस आई जस्ट जैसे हम बात करते हैं वैसे ही मेरे सामने से आ गया था
Correct,
मेरा
correct.
उनके सामने मैंने कहा
It
नहीं
happens.
इट
Yeah.
ऐसे ही स्टोरी ऐसी ही चीजों को आई गेस दैट मेक्स द लीडर्स एंड बिकॉज पीपल आर ऑलवेज अब कि यार हमें लीडरशिप रोल कब मिलेगा वो तब मिलेगा व्हेन यू शो इट दी स्किल्स कि व्हेन इट वाज रिक्वायर्ड एज नॉट कि आप हर बारी
ये
उनको जा
ये
जाके
ये
बोलो
ये प्रॉब्लम है जैसी लीडरशिप रोल आपको नहीं मिलेगा, आपको वो उसको छीनना पड़ता है।
ट्रू
करेक्ट ना? तो वो कैसे मिलेगा, मतलब यू आर वेटिंग फॉर समथिंग। आई हैव सीन अ वीडियो of a leader taking a session where you would also maybe seen, it was viral in the social media, where he actually takes $100 $100 in his hand and says, who wants this dollar, who wants this $100? So so the class has 50 people sitting. Everybody raises their hand. Okay. One lady comes to the stage and takes that $100 and goes. You understand?
शी इज द लीडर
So,
शी इज
so
द
he
लीडर
was he want to demonstrate that. You are sitting there thinking that I'll come and give you. No, you have to come and take it, right? So leadership is also like that. You can't just wait for the right opportunity to come to you. You have to create that opportunity for you.
That's true because it's a way it's a leadership is not for everyone. That's the
Exactly.
main thing.
That's true. That's true. It comes with a lot of responsibility. It comes with a lot of accountability also.
So when it's now, I'm just moving to then some of the controversial points,
Okay.
which are the more
Don't
debatable or
don't
the
put me in
more
trouble because this industry is very sensitive industry. So
that नहीं 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 मैंने उतने नहीं लिए it was just a bare minimum ones कि जहाँ हम दोनों को कुछ नहीं हो सकता
okay.
अब मैं तो भी वहीं बैठा हुआ हूँ So now people think but quite controversial but because according to the audience, right, it is a thing where about the transparency in the pricing. So patients think that everything corporate hospitals are charging very high, but
Okay.
when I am into the corporate hospital, but I have seen or I'm seeing it कि यार जो आपसे charge है that includes a lot of things, a lot of manpower, a lot of research. Then only your patient is been cured within in 5 days, 2 days, or maybe a week.
Correct.
अदरवाइज अगर हम सेम को देखें तो एक एक दो महीने एक एक साल लगता था तब आपके ज्यादा पैसे खर्च होते थे
Hmm.
आई गेस देयर इज दिस काइंड ऑफ अ ट्रांसपेरेंसी पुअर ट्रांसपेरेंसी विच पीपल यूजुअली टेक द नील हाउ डू यू सी दिस
Yeah, this is a very frequent thing that comes in. I'll give you a few examples also here. Now, for example, there was a scientific study where it was seen that for a patient who's doing a bare minimum surgery in a hospital, the number of healthcare workers directly or indirectly uh, involved in that care is about 65. Say, for example, a theater, a patient will never see a CSSD worker, a central
Yep.
sterile supply department, right? The instruments are coming from that department after sterilization. There's a
True.
department he's working for. That a patient will never see. Patient only will see the instrument. Even sometimes he doesn't see the instrument also, right?
करेक्ट
So there is a cost for sterilizing the equipment. There is a space required. There's an overhead. There is a staffing cost. So the material would have been bought only once, and then there is a what do you say, a wear and tear of the instrument also. You have to buy, keep on buying.
या अपग्रेडिंग दिस
All
टेक्नोलॉजी
this cost from where it will be taken. So I'll give you an instance of a very I can't take his name. Is a famous personality, a well-read personality. He is an author of a book also. One day he calls from Bangalore, and he is connected to a common friend. He says, "Devanand, I am in your hospital. My brother is admitted here, and he was supposed to get a surgery done, and he had insurance. So the hospital said that it's about 4 lakhs, for the surgery and under insurance. And now when we applied for it, due to some technical issue, the insurance company has rejected the treatment. So now we are debating, but we can't delay the surgery. We want to do it, so we will do it under cash, and then we will get it reimbursed. But now I went to your billing counter. They are saying the cash tariff for the same surgery is 4.5 lakhs. How is that even possible? You know, इंश्योरेंस में 4 लाख दे रहे हैं, अभी कैसे वो 4.5 हो गया? तो कैसे हो सकता है? So you please intervene, please tell, please request, to do something, करके. So I asked him one question. Say for example, if you are, sir, you are going to, let's say, Taj restaurant or Taj hotel to stay. You go to the lobby and go to the reception and ask for a room. They may say 20,000 per night. You sit in the same lobby, go to a Make My Trip or a Yatra.com and or a Booking.com or whatever, all those sites. Book for the same hotel room. You will get it the same 20,000 room at 12,000 rupees.
True.
Because it is bundled. It is called bundle payments. It's insurance. There is a specific tariff which is already agreed, right? So this service is provided at that cost. Now there is a third category of patients. One is a cash patient. Second is the insurance patient. So insurance patient now, let's say 4 lakh he is getting. Now there is a government scheme patient, CGHS, ECHS, और गवर्नमेंट जो भी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट है उनका स्कीम. ये सेम सर्जरी 4 लाख का सर्जरी उनको 2.5 में भी करते हैं.
करेक्ट. ट्रू.
कहाँ से बैलेंसिंग प्राइस कहाँ से होता है? ये बैलेंसिंग होता है यहाँ से कुछ लेके यहाँ पे थोड़ा एडजस्ट करना. तो आप भी कंट्री के लिए सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, हॉस्पिटल को सस्टेन करने के लिए सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, जो पुअर पेशेंट है उसको भी आप सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं.
बिल्कुल कर रहे हैं.
सो वी डू द सेम सर्जरी 2.5 और 2 lakhs, 4 lakh इंश्योरेंस एंड 4.5 कैश. सो ये बैलेंसिंग कैसे होता है? ऐसा होता है. तो पीपल फील चीटेड. The moment he'll say one of my friend did the same surgery for 2.5. अरे भाई उनका स्कीम दूसरा था.
स्कीम दूसरा था.
तो so the hospitals have that pressure of doing the same treatment under multiple channels. Sometimes even doctors are reluctant to take up certain schemes. वो लेकिन कि बॉस ये आधा घंटे का या 45 मिनट्स का सर्जरी के लिए 30,000 will not recover the cost of the material. How will I do this?
True.
So there are instances like that where हॉस्पिटल जो भी आते हैं उनको ना नहीं कर सकते, तो वी हैव टू अकोमोडेट. सो सम केसेस लाइक दैट विथ अ वेरी लो रेट वी डू, but we have to collect it from somewhere else, so that balancing happens mostly.
That need to be
So
done.
I think 70, I would not say 100%, 70-75% of hospitals follow this. But there are few set of hospitals which have a unreasonable, unscientific, unethical pricing, which I think as an industry we should try to reduce as much as possible. But most of the standard hospitals have their standard package, which is scientific, based on certain costing, and it doesn't change much.
I agree, because even I guess every hospital have their different cost, because it totally depend on the need of an hour, and as well as how much they are infusing, or maybe they're doing the research work, how much they are giving the facilities. That also are one of the factors.
Exactly.
Facilities do matters.
Exactly. So yeah, facility matters, and one thing which I've seen is which could be improved in India is, say let's say new hospital gets started in a market. I'm talking about a hospital being started with not much of the billing or administration experience. People who start sometimes hospital. Okay, हमारे जगह पे hospital नहीं है, एक start करेंगे. तो what they do basically, they'll go around the nearby hospital, take their rate and take an average and put as our charge. That is an unscientific way of pricing. Because आपके हॉस्पिटल में क्या है, आपके हॉस्पिटल का फैसिलिटी क्या है, like you said, जैसे आपने बोला कि हमारा फैसिलिटी क्या है, मैं क्या दे सकता हूँ. मेरा रूम का स्टैंडर्ड थोड़ा कम है दूसरे हॉस्पिटल, तो आई कैन नॉट चार्ज लाइक हिम, राइट. वो थोड़ा लॉजिकली, लॉट ऑफ हॉस्पिटल्स डू दैट, बट there are certain number of hospitals who do the easy work. They just go around and take average and put it as a rack rate, but it's not right actually.
True, that's not true, because whatever the experience you are giving, that's how the return should be. If you are giving good experience to the customer, they will definitely come back to you, and then you can whatever you
Exactly.
want to do.
Yeah.
If you're not giving them the cost or the facilities, and you're charging like anything else, like if I take example of these 2 stars and 5 stars, if 2 star hotels start charging as a 5 star, that it cannot be cannot be matched. That need to be done. Okay. So now other thing which I the same way is a cost is about the test.
Okay.
The people think that hospitals and test in hospitals and test outside hospitals, they have a different financial incentives.
Pricing.
Yeah, pricing of the test. How do you see that?
Same. See, everything matters in the economies of scale. See, how many of the general public know that some machines operate in a lab
True.
require a certain number of samples.
True.
Say, for example, that machine's capacity to operate efficiently is at 100 sample. A lab outside, since a lot of sample come from multiple sources, they can match this 100 samples easily and run that machine the more effective way. So what happens is their per test cost will come down, wastage will come down, per test cost will come
True.
down because the economies of scale start working there, number of samples are more and the machine is working effectively. But take a case of a standard hospital. If they are operating, let's say, a cycle with 50 samples,
Hmm.
wastage will be more. The machine is not working at a higher efficiency. So this will be, if you take an average of the machine efficiency for an year, you will obviously you can't run that machine at a loss because then
True.
that there's no point in keeping that machine in the hospital. So basically, what will you do? You will rack up a price a little higher to cover this loss or loss of efficiency there. So that's why you always see that outside labs have a lower costing, hospitals have a higher costing because some hospitals will have this issue. That is one. Second thing, if a very what do you say, a quaternary care hospital is using a very precision equipment or a high technology equipment, obviously that comes at a cost.
True.
But what it will give you is a very solid, errorless result.
Hmm.
Right. So for that, there is a cost. The machine costs certain price, and you can't compare the same result with a machine which is given by. I'm not degrading any lab outside, but many smaller labs cannot give that match that quality of test. Sometimes,
Correct. That's true.
certain fantastic labs also which operate on in isolation or separate locations, but that also involves some cost. So obviously that cost difference will be there, and similar pricing issues also there in hospital. Let's say a cash paying patient and there is a scheme patient. Now, for example, a CGHS patient come to a hospital, there is a specific rate.
True.
What happens? You are one side you are supporting the people who are not able to afford or at a lower rate. It has to balance from somewhere, right? That's a reality. And see, for example, now if I say as a taxpayer of the country, let us say I'm paying tax, because all those are salaried, will directly your tax is deducted at source, and then we are getting the balance money accounted to our bank, right? Tomorrow I'm going to road and say that there are a lot of people using this road who are not paying tax, while road is full of potholes. I am the one who's paying tax. I need to get a proper road. Others should go in pothole road. Not possible now. So
No.
everybody has to use the same thing. So
True.
you are doing that for the country's development or for the hospital to run it efficiently and to give you a better service. You have to take it the graciously that way.
That's true, I guess, and it's actually a point where people need to understand these kind of a things. Because people, अब जस्ट यू सेड कि हम अगर एक बंदा बिना पॉट होल के चलेगा नहीं, बाकी सब पॉट होल के चलेंगे, इट कैन नॉट बी डन. So
Exactly.
people need to understand if they are getting it right, it's because of the some background to it. If they start getting the regular test done from there in the internal hospital, then obviously it will be charged less.
Exactly.
So coming up on the last one now, on the controversial parts.
Yeah.
So
Very,
there's always
very difficult questions you're asking. But anyway, I'm trying to I can't give a very controversial answer, so I'm trying to be a little diplomatic also here.
No, I'm just so my always a forte is, and I always try to pick the questions from the Quora where people are actually talking, and I
Okay.
just make more convenient for the people to understand कि वो जो क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं और हम जो यहाँ बात करें वो सेम रहे.
Okay, okay.
That's why.
That's good.
So there's always a talk about the farmer and the doctor relationship.
Okay.
So in your experience, how real is the kickback culture in India healthcare?
You're talking about a pharma to doctor kickback culture or
Yeah, pharma doctor.
so, see, every kickback has a story.
Hmm.
Okay, I believe in that because I come from a pharma industry. I was in pharma industry for 10 years.
Oh,
Then came
nice.
to healthcare, I mean hospitals. So I have known both sides. See, ultimately what happens is, let's say you have done a favor to me. Let's say you have done a favor or you have supported me in at a time when you needed me, when I needed you, right? So obviously what I'll do, I'll come with a Diwali gift to your house. Okay, it started like that. It started like that. And I would not say some are maybe like I mentioned the percentages, maybe 20-25% are very unhealthy practices which are there in the industry. That's a reality, and you can't say that there is nothing like that. It's all very clean and बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है नहीं है इंडस्ट्री में बुरा भी हो रहा है पर I feel our majority of healthcare providers, including all the doctors, they also their paramount thing is the patient because obviously patient है तो ये लोग भी आ रहे हैं ना करेक्ट
True.
फार्मा लोग आते हैं जब पेशेंट है
Patient है.
तो पेशेंट को हार्म करके तो ज़्यादा वो नहीं करते एक्चुअली बट देर आर फ्यू पीपल हु डू दैट आई डोंट डिसएग्री तो किकबैक जैसे कि आपको मैं अभी बोलूं कि एक डॉक्टर मेरे लिए 10 साल से मेरे प्रोडक्ट अगर सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं मीन फॉर हिज पेशेंट इट्स फॉर हिज पेशेंट इज राइटिंग बट ओके इज यूजिंग माई ब्रांड लेट्स से ऑब्वियसली व्हाट यू डू दिवाली आएगा तो आप एक एटलीस्ट एक दिवाली बॉक्स तो लेके जाएंगे वो भी
True.
किकबैक ही है इफ यू लुक एट इट दैट वे इट्स अ गिफ्ट विच इज
It's
कैन एज ए
and
किकबैक
it's
राइट
in the culture.
तो नहीं तो पता है कि डॉक्टर एक अच्छा उनको म्यूजिक बहुत अच्छा लगता है तो ओके ओके ओल्डन टाइम्स यू यू हैड दिस सीडीज एंड कैसेट्स यू गेट अ सीडी टू द डॉक्टर कैन बी कंसिडर एज अ किकबैक सो ये ये गिफ्टिंग कल्चर से स्टार्ट हो गया ये पहले जैसे कि उनको जो अच्छा है ओके मुझे भी हमारे ब्रांड के लिए सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं तो थोड़ा उनको क्या करेंगे थोड़ा गिफ्ट दे देंगे ये गिफ्ट के तौर पे हो गया स्टार्टिंग हो गया फिर it went into the size of gift, the value of the gift. You understand? It keeps on increasing, right? So
True.
then after some time, this 20-25% of people whom we are talking, they started demanding. अरे मुझे ये वो कंपनी ने ये दिया आप क्या दे रहे हैं तो इट वेंट फ्रॉम दैट जैसे कि आपको ओके वो ग्रेशियसली दे रहे थे तो आप अभी डिमांड कर रहे हैं तो वो थोड़ा बैलेंसिंग का प्रॉब्लम हो गया तो इट इज़ अ रियलिटी बट आई थिंक IMA Indian Medical Council all others have come very strong against this and then a lot of controls have come to India so I think there has been a little more scientific way of selling things now and even आप ये you say that okay this kind of commission business is there are complaints against hospitals for bringing patients also right there is a public feeling that hospitals pay referral doctors for getting patients that also there
True.
so these are all sometimes these are all stories sometimes there is a reality it is all what do you say how ethical you want to run your business it all matters
True.
that way so like I said in healthcare you can always talk about finance but there are beautiful hospitals in the country or fantastic hospitals institutions in the country who do not involve in any of these smart things
Yeah,
okay
I was about to come on that because a lot of now corporate hospital base have already started this. They don't. They are not getting into this kind of practices, and if they find any doctor or any MR into it, they try to get rid of them immediately. They don't. They don't compromise on their brands.
Yeah, that is
and they're
important, right?
constantly
Because the reputation is also very important. One. Second thing is that once that bad name comes, it is very difficult to change
removed.
that. Yeah. So yeah,
No,
the
healthcare
people are
is
more
all
cautious.
upon the trust.
Correct, correct. No, no,
It's
trust
all
is a
upon
very
the
important thing in healthcare, right?
true.
It's very important. Yeah.
So now when now getting away from the healthcare now, so now this would be more on the person who are who are a manager, right? But they are obviously get into the leadership role. So what are the common myths that people need to work on over the time? यहाँ उसको हम बोलते हैं brown nose. Your manager to get notice.
Yeah.
What are your suggestion? What are your advice to the people and how people can get into the how to solve that kind of myth?
Okay. No, no, it's not a myth. It's not a myth. It's a reality. Again, it is a reality to an extent. It's a reality. Obviously, there are people you come across. A lot of employees, a lot of your team members who pretend to be busy,
True.
but they don't do anything. But they get noticed, because they are smart to
Yeah.
project themselves. But there are guys who silently do very good job, but they
But they
don't.
didn't get.
They are little, worried about how to project all these things. That doesn't look nice. I do my job well. They never get noticed, and then they never get the recognition also because of that.
True.
So it has to be a balance. So I keep on telling all my colleagues that see, you are paid for a certain job, right? See, for example, I am a CEO or I am a manager or I am a housekeeping executive or housekeeping supervisor. I am paid for doing that job. The moment you
True.
start thinking about how I can add value, and start practical approach towards that, that's when you start getting noticed. You don't have to you don't have to make an attempt to get noticed, right? Some people feel that okay, ये चेला है, that thing is there, ना मैनेजर का चेला है तो
वो
ये सब
मेरा चला.
सीक्रेट लेके जाके मैनेजर को बता, इसके लिए उसको प्रमोशन मिल गया. अरे भाई, आपका काम इतना अच्छा है
Yeah.
तो
अब करने.
नो बडी कैन नेग्लेक्ट यू,
True.
राइट? तो योर वर्क शुड स्पीक फॉर योर सेल्फ, एंड वर्क डजेंट मीन दैट व्हाट यू आर पेड फॉर.
Hmm.
आई एम नॉट सेइंग लाइक रिसेंटली कंट्रोवर्सी आ गया था कि बहुत ज़्यादा टाइम वर्क करेंगे तो आपका डेडिकेशन ज़्यादा है, ऐसा फॉर्मूला नहीं है. इट्स नॉट अबाउट,
फर्नीचर बना देंगे या कुछ बना
नहीं,
देंगे.
ऑब्वियसली वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, राइट? सो ज़्यादा काम टाइम्स में काम करना नहीं है. अभी वी कॉल इट अ स्मार्ट वर्क, राइट? आप
True.
जो 6 घंटे का काम आप 3 घंटे में कर सकते हैं तो यू आर एफिशिएंट. लेट्स से यू आर पुट इन 5 years of experience, you are doing the same job and the same way what you are doing in the first year, then you are not grown in terms of
Yep.
efficiency, right? So you should be good in decision making. Your productivity should have doubled or tripled, right? जो पहले साल में आया जैसे काम किया वैसे ही 5 साल बाद ही आप काम कर रहे हैं, सेइंग दैट ये मेरा एग्जीक्यूटिव का काम है, मैं यही करूंगा, यू आर नेवर गोइंग टू ग्रो. अरे, growth will come to people only who experiment, who take challenges, who solve problems. Okay, people go to, you have always noticed, right? They may not be leaders. There will be a lot of people in the organization, could be a hospital or any other organization. There are some people who get a lot of following because they either help the colleagues, or they give good advices, or they will try to solve their problems. So they become automatically followed by people. They are the leaders basically. They don't need
True.
any tag. They don't need a tag of a leader or a manager or anything. They are good guys who are true leaders, and they'll succeed in life also because they know the way of cracking it. So what I'm saying is, to succeed in life, you have to have that passion. जैसे कि let's say I am a manager. When I am a manager, what I should look at, okay, what is my goal? Where I want to reach in next 10 years? Let's say I want to become a head operations. I'm just giving an example, okay? A manager in operations want to become a head of operations of
Head of
hospital.
operations.
So what he should see is, okay, मैं अभी मैनेजर हूँ, मेरे ये क्वालिटी है, मेरे my head of operations is this guy, and he has these qualities or skills better than me. उनका ये फाइनेंस वाला अक्यूमेंट बहुत अच्छा है, उनका पीपल मैनेजमेंट स्किल इज रियली गुड, द वे ही कम्युनिकेट्स इज एक्सेलेंट, वो आर्टिकुलेट जैसे करता है उसको बहुत अच्छा करता है, लोगों को साथ में लेके जा. तो इसमें मैं थोड़ा वीक हूँ, तो मैं क्या करूं? आई विल स्टार्ट फोकसिंग ऑन माई वीक एरियाज.
Hmm.
Get ready. Get ready. Obviously we start working on our weak areas and make our strong areas more stronger. Obviously you'll grow. There's
True.
nothing can prevent you from growing then. But you don't make that effort saying that मेरा 5 साल हो गया, मुझे अभी सीनियर मैनेजर बनना है. You are not going to become a senior manager.
Because you have not shown that.
Yeah, experience doesn't matter. Experience doesn't matter. Experience is only does matter only if you are able to do in any of the case, either in terms of your efficiency, in terms of productivity, in terms of leadership or people man. Somewhere उसका improvement देखना चाहिए.
देखना पड़ेगा.
10 साल में आपको कुछ चेंज नहीं हुआ तो कहाँ पे आपको प्रमोशन मिलने वाला है? नहीं मिलने वाला.
नहीं मिलेगा. एंड उसमें आपको दिखाने के लिए भी whether you are a good auditor or not, but at least you able to showcase the what are the differences you made from last one
Exactly. No,
year,
that is very
2 years.
important. That's very
What
important.
are the differences were there? Whether you are very good in working, but if you're doing the repeated work, that is not a
Exactly.
way of working.
Exactly. No, repeated work भी कर सकते हैं. That's what I'm saying.
हाँ.
If your repeated work you are doing at a lesser time,
Yeah.
then you are efficient. That shows your efficiency, right? अब 2 घंटे में जो करते थे अभी आप आधे घंटे में कर रहे हैं तो you have improved. You have found your
Yes.
way of
True.
doing it easy, right? So that is one. And second thing I would say, rather than saying that okay मैनेजर का चेला है ये है बोलने के वो जो टैग मिलने के बजाय whatever you do always try to document those things. अरे आपने एक इनिशिएट लिया दैट इनिशिएटिव इट शुड हैव इम्पैक्टेड समबडी. ओके, इट कुड बी अ पेशेंट इंप्रूवमेंट, इट कुड बी अ स्टाफ को सपोर्ट करने वाले इंप्रूवमेंट हो सकता है, इट कुड बी जनरल पब्लिक को हो सकता है, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को हो सकता है. जो भी आपने किया डॉक्यूमेंट करो. एक डॉक्यूमेंट बना के भेज दो बॉस को. बॉस, दिस इज व्हाट आई हैव डन बियॉन्ड माई जॉब, समथिंग विच आई थॉट विल बी बेनिफिशियल फॉर ईदर द पेशेंट और द स्टाफ और द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन.
Other organization.
ऐसा वाला आएगा तो यू विल गेट मोर रिकग्नाइज्ड, यू विल बी मोर विजिबल. And that visibility will help you in a later stage. We all have had that experiences also in life.
सो देवानंद सर, अगर मैं हम जैसे भी बात कर रहे थे हम लोग कुछ क्लाइंट्स के इस पे कंट्रोवर्शियस हम बात करते हैं. नाउ वी आर गेटिंग इन द कॉर्पोरेट वर्ल्ड के, because you have stayed in corporate world from last 20 years, more than 20 years, and you know the how the integrities are there, how the politics is happening. So people do always says कि short term profit versus the long term profit. Many healthcare organizations focus on the quarterly profits, ignoring system sustainabilities, right? Which is into the corporate world. So इसको भी हम एक kind of a वो देखते हैं ऑफिस पॉलिटिक्स. तो डू एग्री ऑन इट?
या दो क्वेश्चंस हैं, एक शॉर्ट टर्म लॉन्ग टर्म प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी या उसका ग्रोथ के बारे में, दूसरा second is on the office politics. Yeah, so
Yes.
both these exist actually in sense. See, short term happens when say let's say when your unit or the hospital or a healthcare is in a very deep trouble in terms of let's say a cash flow issue which can challenge your sustenance. Right? ये किए बिना अभी शॉर्ट टर्म आप ये किए बिना आप आगे नहीं जा सकते. तो मे बी यू कैनॉट थिंक ऑफ अ लॉन्ग टर्म स्ट्रैटेजी. जैसे कि कोविड आया था, जस्ट एन एग्जाम्पल. कोविड जब आया था people did not know what to do, right? We did not have any choice. We had to take some decisions which could have been bad, could have been good, we don't know. We had to take a short term decision that time
ट्रू.
कंटिन्यू. तो उस टाइम पे हेल्थ केयर ने क्या किया, बहुत सारे लोगों को काम ही नहीं था, बहुत सारे लोगों को 50% पे कट में, सम पीपल वेंट फॉर 100% पे कट. सो ऑल दोस एडजस्टमेंट्स वुड हैव बीन नॉन पीपल फ्रेंडली. करेक्ट ना? लोगों को तो उस टाइम पे लीडर्स ने जिसने भी डिसीजन लिया और इतना हेट आया. ड्यू टू दैट आफ्टर एटलीस्ट 4-5 months you could come back and you still have that job.
या a lot of don't have it.
हाँ, तो बिजनेस एटलीस्ट तीन है तो आगे चला. इट वेंट ऑन. सो दीज आर द काइंड ऑफ डिसीजंस वर वर यू हैव टू लुक एट अ लिटिल शॉर्ट टर्म थिंग rather than focusing on the long term, but taking shortcuts, let's say to just improve your business, taking shortcut unethical practices, pushing too much of undercutting, a lot of unhealthy things are there in healthcare which too much of I think I cannot maybe mention. बट आई थिंक शॉर्ट टर्म में ऐसे थोड़ा जुगाड़ जो करते हैं देन दैट विल कम बैक एंड बाइट यू बैक एट लेटर स्टेज. सो ट्राई टू बी reasonable, look at the long term strategy, but yeah, when I again reiterate this statement, something which can impact your long term sustenance, or it can affect a disruption, okay, उसमें थोड़ा आप short term करके जा सकते हैं, that is one. Second, office politics कहाँ पे नहीं है, everyone says that, हमारे यहाँ पे नहीं है, जो भी बोलते हैं, and I think it's not a reality, because we are all humans, after all we are all human. जैसे वो थ्री इडियट्स का मुझे वो डायलॉग याद आ रहा है, व्हेन जब आप फेल होते हैं, उससे भी ज्यादा दुख आपका दोस्त पहला बन जाता है ना, फर्स्ट रैंक बन जाता है उस
फर्स्ट
टाइम।
रैंक पे आता है।
ऐसा है हमारा सोच, humans are like that. So we all have emotions, we all have feelings, we like some people, don't like some people. So जो हम जिसको भी हम डिसलाइक करते हैं, let's say I don't like a guy, let's say inside my mind I know that's a good initiative, but since I don't like this guy, I don't want to give him that credit.
I don't want to get that.
I have an personal experience to share here. See, every organization don't expect that leaders are liked by everyone, right? At least there will be 20-30% of people who don't dislike you. So ऐसा हुआ कि मेरे साथ, I mean, I don't want to name the person or his designation. This guy was there who we had a difference opinion on certain things. तो बहुत बार झगड़ा हो, means it was an ideological kind of, because he was a little lazy in his approach, not do much of homework in doing certain things. So I keep on telling them, then he feels that okay, नहीं मैं कर रहा हूँ, अच्छा कर रहा हूँ. So that's it went on. So I know that he doesn't like me. I also did not like him. But one day he came to me and there was a specific approval which I was supposed to give. थोड़ा daring था वो. So he came to my office and said that, sir, I know that you don't like me, but there is some specific approval that I want you to give me. तो मैंने बोला कि बॉस आप बैठ जाओ पहले, okay? First you correct your statement. Why I am saying is basically it is not between you and me. It is between two designations. As the head of this institution, I don't like the manager who is not doing it properly. It is not between a person to person. I don't have any dislike as a person. Why should I dislike you? Your work, there is an ideological issue for me where I am expecting that role to deliver certain things and you are not doing that. And that's my problem. And I am sitting here not as myself. I am occupying this position today. Tomorrow somebody else will come and sit in this position, right? So in this position, if you deserve that as a manager, there is no matter of disliking. I have to do it for you, right? So ये ऐसा होता है. So people will, so उसके बाद भी अभी मैं वो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन छोड़ के आया, फिर भी दैट एम्प्लॉय स्टिल कनेक्ट्स विथ मी, बिकॉज उस दिन का जो बात है उसको समझ में आया कि सी आई
ये पर्सनल नहीं है, ये
यू कैन डिसलाइक रोल्स बट यू डोंट हैव टू डिसलाइक द पर्सन.
person. I guess this is a very important difference. People don't even think about it. They are, if somebody is there, they always think, because even I have faced the same thing. But now today, that that person hates me. But he doesn't understand that at that point of time, we both were on the same position and we have a different ideology.
That's a problem. Yeah. So ये होता है. People at every level, this liking disliking होता है. उसको office politics.
Is it
Some
true?
things how you say it and give the logic of saying that. If you are able to express that clearly, people will understand.
That's true. Because I always says, like you were saying, people pleaser. I take it name as a biryani. I cannot be a biryani which can be favorite of everyone.
Nee, there are people who don't like biryani also.
A lot of people I know, they like biryani, and I'm always this कि ना biryani में इसके साथ जीना पड़ेगा. I can't help it.
Yeah, true. Then you have to all adjust, right? It's an adaptable situation. You can't expect everybody to be like you. You can't expect everyone to behave like you, work like you. You're dealing with different individuals. You have to take their strength, try to help them lower their weakness, help them grow. I think that will solve a lot of issues.
So coming up on the second last one, which is the burnout culture, which I've seen
Okay.
in a recent timing. A lot of industries have given a glorification to the dedication, but that turned into a burnout culture. Because I just told you, I'm working with the mental health school where people are more coming on or researching about the burnout office things. हम अगर देखें ऋषिकेश में, केरला में, जितने भी हमारे इंस्टीट्यूट्स बन रहे हैं, they are more targeting on the offices cultures, because they know that people need to fix up their mind, and they are spending like anything to fix up their mind. And आया कहाँ से? क्योंकि ग्लोरीफाई हो चुका है कि जितना ज्यादा तुम काम करोगे उतनी तुम्हें प्रमोशन मिलेंगी. हाउ इट इज इन योर सेंस और इन योर लाइफ.
Sorry, with all respect to people, that is purely person dependent.
Hmm.
जैसे कि I give you a contextual experience और context में बड़ा example बता. जैसे कि मैं जब young था, bachelor था, जब that time when I used to work, I don't have any botheration of time. Not much. Okay, I may want to spend some time with friends. Okay, Monday को ज़्यादा ज़्यादा काम किया, 10 घंटा किया, 12 घंटा किया, फर्क नहीं पड़ता. ट्यूसडे को मैं 8 घंटा काम किया, जैसे कि ऑफिस का टाइम है, उसके बाद फ्रेंड्स के साथ गया. तो दैट फ्रीडम वॉज देयर व्हेन यू आर अ बैचलर. You have a lot of time for yourself, you can manage. The moment the person gets or some people may even ask, okay, why should I work beyond my office hours? That's true. Let us understand that everyone is employed for a reason, for a cause. वो कॉस्ट नहीं बन रहा है. मीन्स यू आर बीइंग पेड फॉर डूइंग सर्टन थिंग. वो थिंग नहीं हो रहा. मीन दैट यू आर नॉट डिलीवरिंग. You should not be bothered about the time. You should get it done. You're doing it in 4 hours, do it in 4 hours. You're doing it in 12 hours, then you'll have to wait for 12 hours. There is no option. So, connecting into the now, connecting rather than connecting into the hour, look at the kind of work that I was supposed to complete, whether I've done that or not. That is first. But when human transitions to a family man or a family woman, obviously there are a lot of other commitments that come in. So obviously the time window gets reduced. They have to go home. फैमिली होते हैं, हस्बैंड और वाइफ होते हैं, उनका भी साथ थोड़ा टाइम बिताना पड़ता है. तो एंड when kids happen, then you have to spend time with.
Family, children.
So obviously, yeah, so those things come in. The time everyone has only 24 hours. So the वो time का band कम होता जाता है. तो but at the same time, the other side where this person who was young, he has grown 10-year experience now. So उसका productivity बढ़ गया होगा already. By
पढ़ना
the time he
चाहिए.
becomes a family man, right? He would have been in a senior position and his productivity also would have been different. So I personally feel that the same working hours he should be able to deliver the same productivity.
Maybe the not same earlier. You could have done the work before the time as well.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
पता चला गया. I differ. I know whom we are referring to. I don't want to take the name of the leader. He's a fantastic leader. He has been a revolutionary leader. So I don't want to contradict his words. But there is no harm. There's no harm in saying that, okay, India as a country. Now let's look at China as a country. China and India are comparable in terms of population. But where is China in terms of growth? Why it is basically because we are spending a lot of time discussing, criticizing this kind of matters rather than looking at the productivity of the situation.
Correct.
एक बंदे को ज्यादा काम करना अच्छा लगता है एंड ही फील्स हैप्पी डूइंग दैट. व्हाट इज हार्म इन प्रिवेंटिंग हिम? उसको बराबर क्या करेगा तू इतना डेडिकेटेड सिग्नल देने के लिए? नहीं, अच्छा लगता है तो करने दो. If you don't like, you do your come work and come back. So I would say it is person dependent more. Enforcing may not be a right thing because everyone has human is
Their
a
own
social
call.
animal, so
Yeah.
you have to have a social life and you have to have a work life balance also. So burnout बहुत सारा होता है हेल्थ केयर में. You also know that better. Nurses के लिए बहुत मुश्किल है
Nurses, doctors, and
बर्नआउट
the
के लिए. डॉक्टर्स के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा बर्नआउट है. बट सम डॉक्टर्स कम टू मी एंड डिस्कस दिस. जैसे कि बहुत मुश्किल था पिछला हफ्ता. हम क्रिटिकल पेशेंट्स विल बी देयर, कॉम्प्लेक्स केसेस विल बी देयर. उनका नींद खराब हो जाता है पूरा. नाइट बार कॉल जाता है और इमरजेंसी में होता है. तो some people come and then your job is to make them tone down and absorb their emotion. Then I said, doctor, this see now for example, आप एक पायलट को ले लो जो एयरक्राफ्ट चलाता है. उसको क्या बोलना है कि मुझे पूरा क्लियर स्काई चाहिए, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, बारिश नहीं, क्लियर विजिबिलिटी चाहिए, तब जाके मैं फ्लाइट ले
Right
लूँ.
on.
दिस इज अ जॉब हजार्ड. ये
Yeah.
आपका जॉब हजार्ड है. तो ये दिस कम्स एज अ बोनस फॉर यू. देयर इज नो क्वेश्चन, राइट? एज एन एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर मेरा जॉब हजार्ड कि आपके जैसे लोग मेरे सामने आके ऐसा मुझे गाली. तो दैट इज माय जॉब हजार्ड. तो थोड़ा फंड में उनको रिलैक्स करो. दैट इज ओनली वे टू डू.
I guess this can be done by the managers and the leaders as well to their team. हम एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में भी हैं, बैक एंड पे हम जो काम करते हैं क्रिकेट, इवन दे हैव बीन सी कि भाई हम ज्यादा काम इफ मैनेज आई गेस दिस इज अ रोल ऑफ अ मैनेजर एज वेल टू
Correct.
टोन डाउन दी देयर टीम. If they feel the burnout, they should tone down it.
So I have always used to go, Arjit. I have always used, a lot of people. In fact, my
Uh-huh.
family, once my mother came to my hospital, and when we were, she came to consult a doctor. So we were walking around. say कि हमारे जो boys हैं जो patient को transport करते हैं ना, patient
Mm.
वार्ड बॉयज बोल से कि ट्रांसपोर्ट बॉयज बोल पोर्टर्स बोल ऐसे कि बंदे ने आके बोले सर ये क्या है सर बोल के ये बात करता रहा मुझसे तो मैं बोले क्या देख लेंगे भाई जाओ करके बोल दिया तो माई मदर वॉज टास्किंग मी अरे इसको तो कोई रेस्पेक्ट ही नहीं है तुम्हारे यू आर सीईओ व्हाई इज ही कमिंग एंड टेलिंग ऑल दिस थिंग्स टू यू देन आई टोल्ड सी ही फील्स सो कनेक्टेड विद मी दैट्स व्हाई इज कमिंग टू मी
True.
लगता है कि मैं जाके उनको बताऊंगा तो कुछ हो जाएगा मेरा तो ही इज कमिंग दैट
Yes.
एक्सपेक्टेशन तो इफ आई ब्लॉक हिम फ्रॉम डूइंग दैट देन आई एम ब्लॉकिंग फ्रॉम हिम वेटिंग आउट और वेंटिंग आउट हिज फीलिंग्स
True.
मैं रेस्पेक्ट का कोई कनेक्शन नहीं है ही रेस्पेक्टिंग मी दैट्स व्हाई इज कमिंग टू मी ही अंडरस्टैंड दैट आई एम द लीडर ही कम्स एंड टेल्स मी समथिंग विल हैपन सो दैट्स व्हाई इज कमिंग एंड टेलिंग हिज ग्रीवेंस तो ये होता है लोगों को लगता है कि मैं ये सब बन गया मैनेजर हो सीईओ हो तो मेरा थोड़ा सीरियस होना आई शुड बी आई नॉट शुड नॉट बी टॉकिंग टू एवरीबडी
This,
आई शुड कीप
the
अ
angry man. The angry man.
थोड़ा डिस्टेंस लगे ईगो
Yeah.
लगे जैसे कि स्मॉलर रोल्स में जो काम करते हैं ऐसा आई हैव बीन थ्रू आउट माई करियर दैट समथिंग विच आई हैव नेवर प्रैक्टिस्ड you ask any of my colleagues who have worked with me मेरा जो है आई ऑलवेज यूज ह्यूमर आई ऑलवेज यूज जैसे कि थोड़ा उनको शांति दो ना थोड़ा थोड़ा उनको प्लेजेंट बनाओ हेल्थ केयर में काम करते हैं
Correct.
इट्स अ टेंस्ड एनवायरनमेंट पीपल बहुत टेंशन में हैं बर्नआउट कल्चर में हैं तो ऑब्वियसली यू हैव टू मेक देयर एटलीस्ट मेक देम स्माइल बाय डूइंग सम बाय सेइंग समथिंग so that has been my practice so obviously everyone can try that there's no harm in trying a different way of approaching लीडर बन गए तो मैं रूम में बैठ के किसी से बात नहीं करूंगा पूरा मेल भेज के या फोन करके काम करवाऊंगा मीटिंग करके नहीं होने वाला यू हैव टू बी देयर विद द टीम यू हैव टू बी देयर along with them supporting them then they feel so happy
That's true. I guess इसमें से मैंने लास्ट क्वेश्चन किया तो आपने कुछ अपने आप पॉइंट्स बता दिए हैं बट स्टिल आई विल से some of your life lessons from your early life career, right? That you have started from the tier two and now you are into the tier one cities. What are the foundational skills और foundational skills जहाँ पे youngsters को अपने काम करना चाहिए so that they can go to leading to the shallow leadership?
Yeah, so one thing I see a little missing from it's not blaming any generation, right?
Yep.
The new set of professionals who come, they are really restless. Restless. They want to achieve more in the shortest time. But at what cost? They don't dedicate that time and effort to, yeah, they can achieve that in shortest time, but उसके लिए थोड़ा ज़्यादा मेहनत भी करना पड़ता है मेहनत किए बिना शॉर्टेस्ट टाइम में कैसे पहुंचे दैट इज़ डिफिकल्ट उसमें आपको समझना चाहिए कि वर्ल्ड इज़ वेरी कॉम्पिटिटिव तो if you don't to understand what are the requirements for future or what are the requirements for the future roles or future responsibility and you just want to grab that it's not going to come because it has become very competitive now that's one second thing adaptability healthcare में बहुत important है जैसे कि I'll give you an example you have worked let's say you are a staff nurse you worked in let's say Fortis hospital okay Fortis का जो policy है procedure है SOP है there will be a set of procedure policies which you have followed right 3 years आपने वहाँ पे staff nurse के तौर पे काम किया उसके बाद आप मूव कर रहे हैं मैक्स आई एम टेकिंग एन एग्जांपल ऑफ दिल्ली ओनली सो मैक्स में थोड़ा ये पॉलिसी वगैरह थोड़ा चेंज है क्या बोलते हैं नहीं मैं फोर्टिस में ऐसा कर रहा था करेक्ट ना सो सम पीपल डोंट adapt they don't adapt to the new situation adapt to the new manager adapt to the new working condition थोड़ा उसमें प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है so this is something which I have learned you are in a situation you have decided to take that situation right you have decided to take a new organization or new role you have to be adaptable to positive and negative of that you can't just say that I'll only take negativity मैं नहीं accept नहीं कर सकता so adaptability is a very important so when you ask me my life lesson see if I tell you that I was an introvert you may not believe that truth in college में तो introvert था करने में बहुत परेशानी था तो confidence नहीं तो बहुत मुश्किल था मेरे लिए crying over that you are not going to change yourself right so I started working towards that and then I have reached a stage where I have gone to stages, and a few stages, I couldn't speak anything. I was just, I was frozen there. But I still went because that's how you build confidence. Okay, you don't care about what others say because you already know that you are weak in that, right? So where you are weak, try to make it better. So let's say I wanted to become a doctor. I failed in medical entrance. I went into depression for 3 4 months. Then, with the support of my family, somehow got a graduation done. Then, so क्या बोलते हैं जैसे कि life was minimalistic. So what happened was you have your own limitation of resources. उसमें से जीना पड़ता है. And then I got into sales. My first job was in sales. So obviously किया. So the good thing was that it is a very tough job because you are in the field every day, meeting new people, converting that to sales. It was tough, but it also brings in a lot of endurance, patience. A lot of what is it? That maturity comes a little early. So I personally feel anyone who's in the corporate world, should have some at least 6 महीने एक साल का sales experience होना.
Okay.
So which will get a little more insights on, जैसे कि आप ऑफिस कैबिन में बैठते हैं तो बाहर जा उसमें क्या डिफरेंस है, बाहर जाएंगे तो पता चलेगा. ओके.
Right.
तो ये है. उसके बाद क्या हुआ कि एंड देन आई डिड माय पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन. देन see, life was a different way of giving you back. I want to become a doctor, and then in Aster, I got the fortune of creating a campus, which was a medical college, nursing, pharmacy, and become the CEO of that campus. Imagine the situation. Somebody who wanted to become a doctor failed in that, created a medical college. I was the employee ID number one. And 10 years I was there in that campus, set up everything for the company. It is like a purpose of life, and a very surprising way of the, life giving you back. I was so happy to see youngsters who come and then become doctors, which I wanted to do, but I could be a part of such a big journey thanks to our chairman. And so what I'm saying is, you have to experiment everything, try new things, learn new things. And I wanted to become a doctor, I couldn't do. So 2025 नहीं 24 दिसंबर को उसके पहले 4 साल पहले 2020 में I started doing my doctorate. Okay, and 2024 at this age I don't have to prove to anyone. I was already regional CEO, and this is not to please anybody, it is to please myself. I wanted to keep that doctor tag.
Which was pending since long.
हाँ, so वो डॉक्टरेट में इस एज में किया तो, and it is a tough journey, research, right, it's not easy doctorate. So वो करना तो बहुत सारा एफर्ट था. तो लोग पूछते थे, my wife and all, why you want to do all this at this stage, why you want to toil, because you are already, आपके पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट्स और काम से you are already in a leadership position. But it's not to make anybody satisfied, it's to satisfy myself.
Myself, yeah.
तो 24 दिसंबर को मैं मेरे +2 के टाइम I wanted to become, a doctor. So that doctorate came at what age? At this age, and after achieving a good amount of leadership position. So what I'm saying is, you don't stop till you achieve what you want, what you desire. You should continue working towards that. Don't think that okay, मेरा जॉब हो गया, settle हो, मैं कुछ नहीं करो जो आपका पैशन है. तो यही मेरा स्टेटमेंट है यंगस्टर्स की. को अच्छा लगता है वो करना है. मेनी लोगों को नहीं होता. यंगस्टर्स जो पैसा उनको when they start getting money.
It is also easy. Everybody is giving them. Yeah, there's an easy method.
So have some financial discipline, set your life, and then do things which you love to do. उसके लिए किसी को explanation देने का, there's no need. But do whatever you like. But at the same time, to try to learn new things, improve yourself, upskill yourself. So no one can question you later, right? So
That's what I
would
guess
be
you're
my
doing
message.
right now as well. That the similar way you're doing it right now as well. You have started your own venture. After so many of leadership, stable job, you are getting into the new venture. So I will not take much time on that. I will just take a small time if you can give us about your new venture. How you are
Yeah,
starting,
so
how you are getting into
it's a again it's a like what is it? It's circling back. You started the question, the interaction with AI. Okay,
Correct.
so we are coming back to AI now. So you have to ask about my current venture, which is basically it's called Next NT. Next NT is a fusion of English and a Telugu word. Because we started from Hyderabad, Telangana. Our company started from here, so we wanted to have a local fusion. So next is next, the English word. NT in Telugu means what. सो इट
Okay.
मीन्स व्हाट नेक्स्ट. सो जैसे कि लोग पूछते हैं ना आपसे, अब अभी क्या, हम ग्रेजुएशन हो गया, अभी क्या क्या करने वाले हैं, नेक्स्ट
What
क्या है
next? Yeah.
नेक्स्ट. तो करियर में होता है ना ये, यू बिकम अ मैनेजर, व्हाट नेक्स्ट, यू बिकम
True.
अ डायरेक्टर, व्हाट नेक्स्ट. So we are building India's maybe I can say one of the first AI powered healthcare hiring platform. आपके आपने naukri.com सुना होगा, तो this is
Yes.
almost like a similar platform but exclusively for healthcare with a lot of AI power into it,
Mm-hmm.
which has a lot of smart matching and reducing TAT for the HR folks. And also we are only focused on healthcare. So healthcare means hospital, pharma companies, medical technology companies, healthcare IT companies, मेडिकल इंश्योरेंस कंपनी. सो हमारा जो डोमेन है, मेरे जो पार्टनर्स हैं सब लोगों का, मीन वी आर ऑल फ्रॉम हेल्थ केयर, वी हैव कोर हेल्थ केयर एक्सपीरियंस. एंड देन एंड दिस इज द वे ऑफ मे बी, आई लाइक यू सेड, आई हैव हैड मल्टीपल positions, and I have been fortunate to work with a lot of good leaders who have taught us, who have mentored us, given us opportunities to grow and succeed in life. This is my way of helping a lot of other people, to get good jobs, grow in their career, and job
True.
is your life. It is your life, right? So I wanted to maybe try something where I can make a little more big difference in a lot of others' lives. You are part of their unknowingly. They may not know me personally, but through my system, through my firm, if I'm able to help somebody get a good job, so I'm setting him for his life. That passion we all have come. Other three partners are there. So one is a doctor. He's a doctor. The our main founder is a doctor himself. So we all have come together for that basically. So that's the mission. So we have just taken the baby steps. So maybe, yeah, maybe few years down the lane, we will come back to you with a much.
Because it's a very good thing which you have taken up, because nowadays job finding is actually a task. And it's not only from the candidate point of view, but it's from the hiring manager point of view. Because while on the podcast as well, people have actually talked about the same thing, that finding a right skill is very difficult. People are very good orators, they know how to speak, but when it's come to the actual work, they have a lack. As जैसे भी आपने एग्जांपल दिया, न्यूबीज को फटाफट ग्रो करना है. So yesterday only I was having a discussion with one of my ex-colleagues. They started a company called Namoza. एक साल के अंदर उनके पास 4 डिजाइनर्स आ, और अब हेल्थ केयर के डिजाइनर को समझना पड़ेगा कि वो हेल्थ केयर है. वो बिना उसके जिसको सिखाया 3 बार चला गया, जैसे ही दूसरे को हायर किया 60-40 दे स्टार्टेड ग्रोइंग देयर कॉस्ट. अब नाउ ही इज इनटू डेमिला कि हाउ शैल आई ट्रेन देम, आई टेक द ओरिजिनल वन या कैसे करें. सो आई गेस आई कैन फील दैट, बिकॉज ये कल ही
करेक्ट,
हुआ.
करेक्ट. No, what you said is right. And healthcare is also more closed environment. जैसे कि यहाँ पे बहुत सारा रिक्रूटमेंट होता है रेफरल के और थ्रू एजेंट्स. So we want to bring that change in the industry where people can believe in a platform and feel that okay, you come to this platform, I'll get the right job for me, right skill matched, right culture matched job for me, which satisfy me. So that's why we are ultra focused on healthcare. We don't do any other industry, only healthcare. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's about it.
good
Yeah.
luck to you, sir, and
Thank
actually
you.
good luck to the people and the visual, to the people who are going to watch this podcast. And if you think, if you have a people who are looking for a job, a person looking for a job, or if you are looking for a job for your own self, you can connect with Dr. Devanan. He would be the best person to help you from his platform, and maybe you can directly reach out to him on the LinkedIn. I will give it, sir. Website का नाम and LinkedIn, so that people can get in touch with you, and if they need any guidance they can take it from you. For the healthcare, I guess you have already given a lot of things. बहुत कुछ था अभी उसमें, but अभी still we have your time constraints as well.
Thank you, Gurjit. It was nice interacting with you. It was never boring, It was very live conversations. You have that very, what is a very definite, defined quality of, extracting things that you want.
Thank
Kudos to
you,
you
sir.
and team to let the podcast be a super success and the series
Thank you.
become a very massive success for you. So good luck to
Thank you,
you and
sir.
team as well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
and
Thank you so
definitely
much. Thank you. Namaste.
thank
Bye.
you.
Thank
Namaste.
you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining.